Good morning all of you. In the previous video we have discussed about laws of chemical combination, and in today's video we are going to discuss about Dalton's atomic theory. Now after the two laws of chemical combination were put forward, the next task before the scientist was to give a suitable explanation of these laws. John Dalton, a British chemist, was also working in this field for a pretty long time. On the basis of the studies and investigations carried, he came out with a statement that the smallest portion of matter which cannot be divided any further is an atom. In the year 1808, he gave the famous theory known as Dalton's atomic theory. So the theory is based on certain postulates called postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. Now the main postulates of Dalton's atomic theory are as follows. So the first postulate is all matter is made up of tiny particles called atom. It means when we go on dividing matter into smaller and smaller pieces, what we get in the end is atoms. So atoms are the tiniest particles by which all the matter is made up of. Now the second postulate is atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Now what do we mean by this? It means that atoms are like the fundamental units, that is, dividing them further is not possible. We cannot divide atoms further. That's why they are called indivisible particles and they cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Also in a chemical reaction, atoms may combine together to form new substances, but no new atoms can be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Now the third postulate is atoms of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. That is, all the atoms that make up the particular element are just the same. The atoms of the particular element are same, that is, they have identical mass and chemical properties. Which also explains the fourth postulate of Dalton's atomic theory, which is atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. So it is clear from the third postulate only that atoms of same element are identical in respect to mass and chemical properties, and whereas atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. That is, atoms of one element are different from the atoms of other elements in terms of mass and chemical properties. Now the fifth postulate is atoms combine in a ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. Now this means that in any compounds, the elements are always present in a ratio which comprises of whole numbers, and whole numbers like 1, 2, 3. That is, you will not find one third or 1 second or half atom combining with the other atoms. For example, if we take the example of water, H2O, here you can see 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So to make water, only 2 atoms of hydrogen will combine with the 1 atom of oxygen. Similarly, if we can see the case of carbon dioxide, we have 1 carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. So these number of atoms are same and they are always in the whole number. Now the last postulate of Dalton's atomic theory is the relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. This we have already discussed in fifth postulate by taking the example of water and carbon dioxide. That is, in water there will always be 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So the number of atoms will always be constant in a particular compound. So these were the 6 postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. Now the theory, as we have discussed now, brought a revolution in the field of science, particularly chemistry, and it gave for the first time a concrete information about the composition of matter, and it also provided suitable explanation for the laws of chemical combination. So this was all about Dalton's atomic theory, and in the next video we are going to discuss about atoms, that are tiny indivisible particles. Thank you.